Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Planet Coaster. Here we are back at Knott's Grand Adventure, and we're going to do a little fly around of the park. I'm currently using my PS3 controller to control the camera, and I have the game paused, and I did a test opening because I did some changes, because if you look over there, that looks different. So we're going to go over some of those changes, and yeah, I've just been working on this park here and there, trying to get it finished so I can fully commit to doing Bush, because for some odd reason I was like, hey, you know what? I'll work on this park again. I know that I said that my interest in it was basically done, but I don't know, like I went back to it and I was like, oh, I like this park. I should finish it. So that's what I'm gonna do. So alright, first off, bumper cars are gone. I got rid of them because I'm gonna put buildings here. And I didn't hold on, I have to swallow something. I've been sick, so I've got some phlegm. Oh, there we go. Phlegm's gone. Got it. I didn't like how there was additional ride before you got to the carousel, so I got rid of them. So now when you're looking straight ahead, your eyes are still drawn to the roller coasters, but also the carousel, which is really nice. And then you have Accelerator Rush. I kept the name because canonically, let's just say it's the same ride and that the other one didn't exist. I never liked how the area didn't really use, or the ride didn't use the area fully. It kind of was just up high and the ground was kind of just bare. So I built a smaller in height version, but I think longer in ride duration, possibly. I don't know, but here it is. I switched over to the the Premier Skyrocket 3 track, and the ride still starts with a top hat, and has 4-car trains, each one with three rows per car. It's kind of long. Full throttle doesn't even have a train that long. I believe it's 3. So I could reduce it to 3 rows, but I'm not sure if that's really going to have much purpose. So there's that. I have the ride running at 3 trains, which seems to do well in like in testing mode, but with guests, I'm not sure how possible that will be unless I specifically set the dispatch intervals to be at a certain time, which I will probably do once I figure out what exactly the dispatch intervals need to be, and then hopefully it'll just send the ride even if rows are empty, because this ride should be pretty high capacity, so even if the trains aren't completely full, every time it'll make up for it by having that other train behind it waiting to load and unload. And who knows, I might even need to take that third train off, but I'm hoping that I don't need to. Now, alright, let's just do a full circle. The sign is the same. It does nearly clip it, but actually, let's see, was that R2? D2? Yeah, it gets really close, but the wheel assemblies clear it just fine, so I'm not worried about it. Vortex, I'm pretty sure I've gone over those changes before. There's no way that I haven't. I'm pretty sure I did it when I did the flight deck video, which we will get to because I've done some stuff around there also. Troika. This ride gets really close, but I've tested it during cycles, and the little boats still stay pretty far away from the track. And if I really get concerned about it, I can switch these the spine from the thick rail to the small rail, and that will give it a little bit more distance. But I don't really see the point, so I'm probably not going to. Octopus needs a sign. I will get to that. Apparently I also need a trash can right there. Or, oh wait, no, that's a bird. I thought that was trash. It's not. Yeah, this is the same. I will say that this little tunnel does feel a bit more out of place after I've done all these changes. but I still really, really like it, so I'm going to keep it. Let's see this area. I've been working on the fencing. I can say that I've done that. They added new western fencing, so I've been replacing most of the old fencing with these new ones. I think the level of detail is a bit higher. The customization isn't as good because I can make short fences, but I can always just merge these together. And me using these means less scenery pieces because the other ones were, I think, 4 pieces. These are 1. So that's better. I don't need to do the math for you to tell you that it's better. It just is. The queue, I added some onto it because it wasn't long enough. I will enclose that at some point using more or less a duplicate of those. Because who wants to wait out in the sun when you could wait in the shade? So I will do that very, very soon. Oh, there's one of the security guards. I added them because people kept stealing, those jerks. So now I have them to stop all the baddies. I have a lot of them, and most of them are expertly trained. And, okay, you're an employee. This area, oh, this area, I don't know what the hell to do with it. I don't want to just put plants here because it seems a bit, lame and kind of, taking the easy way out. But, like I've said in the past, it's hard to theme an airfield because airfields don't really have anything going on in them. I could try and build a jet, but it's probably going to look terrible, but hey, I might just have to build a jet. Alright, over to flight deck, which has a sign. I based it off of Magnum's sign, and I think it works for being a very, very Cedar Fair-ish sign. That kind of looks like the Adidas logo also. Maybe they're the sponsor, I don't know. But that's the sign for it. Also, I built a little support right here, and it actually connects up to it. This is my very, very, very terrible connection. But it will work because that's what we have. Oh, it's also not done because it needs a part going straight down, and it's not built yet, obviously. Whoa. Hope none of you have motion sickness, because this might make you a little bit sick. Here we are in getting close to Fiesta Ville. As you can see, I'm using the single sign pieces to make letters and sink them in, but since the textures are weird, once you rotate them, right here they look like shit. And there's not much I can do about it. Actually, there's nothing unless I just pop them out like that, which I might do, but then they don't really blend in well like these ones do. Like with these ones, you can't really tell that they're sign pieces because the colors are perfect. With this one, they are sign pieces and the colors aren't perfect. I've tried getting the shade just right so that it's that darker blue, and yes, I know I can copy and paste the CMYK code, and unfortunately the CMYK code, or RGB, whatever it is, even if they're the same, they're different because the textures are different, thus different consistencies in color. Kind of like how if you have a ride one color and then the building the same color, depending on the building type, it will not look the same. Moving on to something major. This is El Serpiente. El Serpiente is a B&M hypercoaster based off of Diamondback. Now, I know that you guys are like, I wish I could have seen you build it. Trust me, be glad that you didn't, because it took forever. My computer crashed multiple times. The frame rate was terrible the entire time. It took forever. And, yeah, it just took forever. You probably wouldn't have enjoyed it. It would have been multiple parts, so just trust me. Be glad that you didn't see any of it. It is themed to a tequila company for some reason, but the colors itself are that of I think it's a corn snake, which I think Mexico has. I'm pretty sure I looked up like venomous Mexican snake or venomous snakes in Mexico, and it was like the top choice or top option. So I was like, alright, cool, that works. So the colors itself are basically Diamondback, except that I added the kind of tannish color to the spine, where the The track, or sorry, the track is like that dark red. The color's kind of an off-white cream-ish color, and the trains are that of a corn snake. Or maybe it's coral snake. I think it might be coral snake. My bad. The colors could also be that of a king snake, but the colors are slightly inverted, but I made sure it's like yellow or like black on red, you're dead. Yellow or red on yellow, he's a safe fellow or something like that. I probably completely butchered it. Um, if you do know what it is, just comment on it and be like, oh, oops. But yeah, that's the train. Um, the layout itself is not really inspired by anything. I did try and make it kind of Diamondbackish, but I know that I didn't. It's very, very terrain friendly because as you can see, the brake run is over here, and you can just tell by looking at the supports that there is a hill here, and it gets faster as the ride progresses and gets towards this what's the fast button on the controller? There isn't a fast button on the controller. Just found that out. Yeah, it gets really fast once it heads over here into the lagoon. And the fastest point of the ride, which is I think 71, it actually hits right here um, at this turnaround. And you would think that it would be like somewhere around, I don't know, like after the first drop or after the first turnaround. But it's not because it uses terrain and it does it properly. So there's that. I've also been landscaping it to go get the ride's prestige level up. I've mostly been using a combination of the red leafed or red flower bush. I don't remember which one it's called, but I think it looks pretty nice mixed in with the grassland rocks and doesn't really seem out of place for the Mexico themed area. And I think that's all I have for that. Actually, I did theme up the station ever so slightly and the entrance. Oh, also it has a transfer track, which I'm still working on because I need to lower the rest of the scaffolding to, I think, one lower. I need to finish this building and this one. But in the station, there's multiple barrels, which are obviously for tequila. I looked to see if there was a bush that kind of resembled an agave plant, but I didn't see any. But hopefully they add them at some point. Hey Frontier, if you're watching this, I really, really want agave plants because it really, really helps with western areas and Mexico. The end. There's also this thing for the just the ride entrance, because you have this, it's like the kind of the grand entrance. This is like the, I don't know, the small entrance. You can take that if you want. I slightly recolored this so that everything is a darker color and there's no white color on it. I also added a sign. This is La Papa Loca. You can get Monsieur Frites. Monsieur Frites, there it is. I covered up this area using these very, very nice red fences. They are red because I said that's what color they are, and I made them that way. This is just kind of to protect you from the ride. So just in case you lose your hat right here, you can't walk in. I mean, you'd have to climb it, and hopefully security would catch you. Because there's cameras everywhere, I think. Is there one here? Yep, there's one literally right there, which I've also been adding constantly. Well, it seems like any ruffian could just break into that and ruin it. Something to think about. I added these two things right here, just kind of to add something to, I don't know, just something to look at. That looks nice. I think it might also add to the scenery rating for Chupacabra, which I haven't done anything with. I would love to find a way to add more queue to it, but I don't want to completely ruin the support structure by placing queue just everywhere. So I'm not going to. The queue, I suppose, is fine as it is, but I think that if I were to go anywhere, it would... I actually won't even put it right here. He's fine. In real life, it would have a queue extending out and then running this way and along here if it needed to. Because it's a pretty wide path, and it would be pretty good for adding some queue stanchions, which are poles, which you can add rope to add a queue. Haven't done anything with this. I tried finding a way to shift this over to make this path wider because I was stupid with that, and it won't let me. Don't know why, but it won't. This area I've been adding rocks and these hedges because I think it makes it look a little bit more complete by adding some greenery to break it up, which I think looks nice. Fury. I'm gonna extend the queue out even more than it already is because this queue isn't really that long and it adds a lot of bottlenecking over here, which leads to theft because people are just standing around ignoring everything around them, and then they get their shit stolen, and they don't like that. Also, it has a sign, Fury 327. It's this weird, like, I guess T-shaped thing. Those are the signs that I'm using for Fiesta Village also, but I kind of like them for that. It's kind of weird, but it works. Also, if you're like a coaster nerd and you're like, I need to take the perfect picture of Fury, this would be the angle. I feel like every ride should have like its sign angle. This is this ride's sign angle. Or you could even go like that and have it like going over the trim hill, which is necessary. It's a necessary trim hill. The ride sucks without it. It would probably rip you in half if it didn't run with trims. Yeah, I added a another transfer building. I really like building transfer buildings because there's like so many logistics in adding them, and unfortunately you can't add them to everything that I have, because if I wanted to add one right here, I would probably have to place it on this brake run and then have it probably this way and then going that way. But if I do that, then it's going to run into the existing track unless I have it going way out, and then have it so that it just like one of the corners would like hit that support right there, like the middle left of the screen. That one. It would hit that one, and then I don't know if I would like it. I probably wouldn't. I also have to redo the queue slightly, which isn't necessarily a bad thing because I do have space all along here. But I kind of like the queue as it is. It goes past key moments. I like how close it is to the terrain, which is one of the more unique things about the ride. I tried to use terrain as much as I could. That might do it for this little overview video. And I guess I can show this off. I have the train going through the path because I turned off collisions. But I'm probably, actually that's something I could talk about. I'm probably going to redo this area so that instead of having this curve right here, it's actually going to go straight right here and then have the train station, and then I'll just have the track kind of probably winding this way underneath Fury and then connecting up over here-ish, and I can just lower that if I need to. That shouldn't be a big deal. And then I would love to add the bumper cars back at some point. So if I have the extra room over here, I'll probably just place the bumper cars where the current queue is. And then this whole area right here, that's going to be queue and exit for the railroad, because this is the most popular station when the park opens, and it just fills up so quick. And then the busiest station when the park closes is this one right here, and even with me adding queue, it's still really long. So what I might do, this is a very, very, very big might, is I might have the train run more or less straight here, and then have the station running like underneath this, and then I bring in the path um, here and have it so that the like path goes around that connects back up over here, and then I have room for a couple more flats. I'm not entirely sure if I want to do that yet. I'm probably gonna like save the park and then do all that, and then I'll see how that works out. And then if I need to, I can just reload the old save and do that. So yeah, I'm gonna call that a video. I'm sorry that there wasn't anything in the POV spectrum. I'm gonna figure out how to use Cheat Engine so I can record things at a slower speed and then speed them up in post. And I can just add like generic music to it. I I hate to do it, but I'm probably just gonna look up like generic trance music and then put it in there because that's what all coaster videos have in them. Generic trance music. Or I'll just, I don't know, I'll do something. They won't be quiet because that's just boring. Or you know what? I'll just use some Planet Coaster music. That will be fine. So yeah, thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you next time.